This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Lord have mercy. Whoa, well.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, the Central Bank of the Bahamas, the Cleveland Clinic, Easy Car Sales, Fine Threads, Grand Bahama News, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
And abuse me, I leave them with the brown. The work goes by so long, and them bloody never get paid.
We're back at you here on Talking Heads on the Wednesday, November 27th edition. Your boy Naughty and your company along with Mary Jane right up until 6 p.m.
Good afternoon.
On this Wednesday edition, Hump Day edition. And I know y'all feeling it. We can get over the hump together. Lots to talk about today. It's an open line Wednesday, as we do each and every Wednesday. And we got lots to talk about. And if you got lots to talk about, then here's how you chime in.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
Text lines powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Toll free in any one of the Family Islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Stream us live, take us wherever you want to go, GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. Cable channel 969, BTC Flow channel 612. That's how you get it in. That's how you get it on for fresh news, smart talk all day, right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. MJ, what's happening?
Nothing. Nothing much.
The headlines.
Well,
a lot happening there.
Yeah, always.
I was trying to get a little, breath of fresh air before we go into the headlines because
I'm sorry,
headlines,
I cannot be that breath today. I don't have it. I'm not.
Well, since it's like that, put on your galoshes. We're going in. It's time for the headlines.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
And great deals going on right now on designer suits at Fine Threads. Be sure to check them out. Starting at as low as $168 if you want the accessories to go along with. They have that as well, including shoes. So be sure to check them out. Both locations. Flagship store, top of the hill, Mackey Street, and the Southwest Shopping Plaza location. And don't forget, both of those locations available for you 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Simply log on to finethreads.com. Check out everything that's going on. Do your shopping online. Then arrange for pickup at any one of those convenient Fine Thread locations. Big headline. In red. Indicted. Bahamians charged as U.S. indictment unsealed. Accused in mass drug operations. Story by Travis Cartwright-Carroll. 11 Bahamians. 11.
Wow.
Including a senior police officer, a police sergeant, a defense force officer, and 2 Colombians have been charged with conspiracy to import cocaine into the United States, possession and use of firearms, and firearms conspiracy, according to an indictment filed in New York. The indictment, which was unsealed yesterday, names Chief Superintendent Elvis Curtis, officer in charge of the Airport Division, Royal Bahamas Police Force, Royal Bahamas Police Force Sergeant Prince Albert Simonet, who works closely with Curtis, and Royal Bahamas Defense Force Chief Petty Officer Darren Roker. All as conspirators who helped facilitate the transshipment of tons of cocaine from South America through the Bahamas and ultimately into the United States. In a statement last night, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez said that Curtis and Roker were arrested in Florida yesterday and will be transported to federal courts in New York for trial. He said Simonet, a pensioner of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, has been suspended from duty effective immediately. What's more than
I was going to say, it's like we were sent back some 40 years at least 40 years back with these headlines. And whenever you see like the newspapers use like a lot of black or red, like you rightfully pointed out, you know that it's a serious issue, and it is.
I mean, on the heels of all the unsavory allegations and reports swirling about our Royal Bahamas Police Force now.
And the state of crime in the country in general.
Took words right. Couldn't get to that, but yeah, and then crime on top of that. Where are we? Where are we going? Obviously not going up. Obviously there's more bad apples than we thought in the Royal Bahamas Police Force, spoiling the good apples. I mean, what do you think that does for morale? You got harder working officers going in every day, risking life and limb, actually doing police work. And then to see their counterparts be hauled before the courts internationally. I mean, morale-wise,
the most recent scandal in which some people were calling for a commission of inquiry saying that it had reached that level. Well, I could certainly say now that based on this, I think that was the right call at the time. Something is going on in our, and it's not just the police force, because we have a defense force officer, I do believe, who's also accused.
Correct.
And they're all innocent until found guilty.
And then
but this
more
is
rumors
not
and
a good
allegations
look.
today online and social media. And like I say, I got to do my due diligence, but the allegations are swelling that it goes even further. Potential MP and all.
The Tribune did have that as its headline today. They talked about a politician.
Correct.
That was named by these persons to maybe have been involved. I heard 2 million, or I think I read 2 million. And these are some serious accusations. I really listened. Once this news broke last night, of course, everybody was, stunned, not completely shocked, but a bit stunned. And I listened intently this morning because there was the press secretary, Lutray Raming, posted online last night that the Prime Minister would make an announcement or he would, give a speech in the House of Assembly. Listen this morning, they started a lot later than usual. And I have to say that I was kind of disappointed. It seemed to be that the statements made by the Prime Minister, he could have made them from like 30,000 feet in the air.
Well, he has before in airplanes on many traveling rides.
Yeah. Well, it just seems so, we're just above this. We're looking down. We're going to fix it. There was no sense of urgency. There was no sense of, my goodness, we have a really serious problem and we are really going to be forceful and aggressive in dealing with it. I noted that the minister that has responsibilities for these particular government entities, the Minister of National Security, wasn't in the House today, and that was a bit disappointing. I don't even know. But you would want to hear something that reassures the public, because these are serious accusations. Gun
Very
smuggling, drug
I
smuggling.
have a possible trip to St. Lucia or Grenada or somewhere in the Caribbean for the Minister of National Security.
Right. So right now we need, all hands on deck, and we need to get to the bottom of whatever is happening, because not only is it affecting morale here with the citizens and, like you said, the other members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force that aren't involved in these heinous shenanigans, allegedly, but you also have a situation where it's taking too long. I've heard conversations accusing this administration of being soft on crime, and I'm telling you right now, if whomever this official is, and if there's even a little bit of possibility that this is going to require some investigation, or if there's a kernel of truth behind a politician being involved, I expect the Prime Minister to have that person's resignation if they are a cabinet member, and I expect him to have that on his desk today. Like, the time for playing games and, being slow to react, I think that time has passed. We've witnessed some heinous crimes in the country recently. Where's the focus? Where's the focus? Is the focus on getting things done here, or is the focus on this other operation the U.S. is now saying we were involved in?
Well, it is more black eyes and negative publicities internationally, and I'm sure we can pick this up.
We were trending on Twitter X
again
today,
for all the wrong reasons.
And I couldn't believe some of the comments that I read. It was crazy.
Other stories. Story by Rachel Scott. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard said yesterday the party supports the enforcement of the death penalty. We are very clear, said Pintard at a press conference. This is a straightforward issue for us. Capital punishment is on our books. We don't try to serve people some fallacy that all crime stops after it is carried out. But we do say clearly and simply we support a capital punishment for the role that it plays a deterrent as well as a punishment. And we believe wherever the executive and the Parliament can make adjustments within our laws to make the process more efficient, that they ought to act. They ought not to facilitate on the issues. It's another touchy topic right there.
And
but
I think
look around in
it's at the
2024.
forefront, right? Because
12-year-old girl murdered. 72-year-old woman murdered. Both raped, sexually assaulted, and murdered. So we do need to talk about death penalties. Countless young males murdered, taken out. Whether it be gang violence, drug trade, whatever. And I got to mention that because some people get so touched when you only mention crime against women. They get fired up. What about the men's? Well,
in this climate?
Yeah. So we're covering everything.
Yeah, of course.
And for everybody that's been taken down,
every life is important.
That in an instant of murder, we need to determine what is the worst of the worst.
And the
get over that hurdle.
Rarest of the rare.
Rarest of the rare.
And that's the one that's tripping me out.
And make sure that the criminal is 100% guilty, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
And we need to get a grip on it because that's the second part of it. Most people just quote the first part, which is worst of the worst, yes. But they also said, the Privy Council also said rarest of the rare. If everybody's doing these heinous crimes, how do we even get to rarest of the rare when it becomes so commonplace?
Exactly. If we become desensitized as a community, how do we get to rarest of the rare? Actually assaulted, strangled to death, police say. Story by Travis Cartwright Carroll, 25-year-old in custody. Sands decries state of the PMH. Free National Movement Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands said yesterday conditions at Princess Margaret Hospital are unacceptable as the kitchen is non-functional and renovations in the accident and emergency department are still not completed. It's for over a month now.
Goodness.
And more details of the $300 million debt conversion project revealed, story by Yuri Kemp, and that's in the business section. So you want to check that out. That's just some of the headlines that are blazing up the pages of the Nassau Guardian News and Views that matter since 1844. That's a wrap on your headlines, all brought to you, of course, by Fine Threads. We're going to take a quick break. Flip side of the break, we're going to get into the buzz, all brought to you, of course, by John Shoes. And we're going to open up the lines. And I want to know, and MJ wants to know, what's your take on our police officers indicted? Your take on the death penalty, the situation at PMH, the heels of young Adriel Moxie and now Miss Chandler Butler, 72. Both murdered, both sexually assaulted. And whatever else is on your mind. It's an open line Wednesday. Bring it. Don't sting it. Lines are open and it's all coming up on the...
The system broken, the schools closed, the prisons open. We ain't got nothing to lose. Everybody, we rolling. Everybody, we rolling. With some light-skinned girls and some Kelly Rollins. In this white man world, we the ones chosen. So good night, cool world. I see you in the morning. I see you in the morning. This is way too much. I need a moment. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking.
This KFC drip just won't quit. Step your flavor game up with the new KFC Saucy Nuggets. 100% real premium white meat nuggets, sauced in your choice of one of 5 KFC sauces: Korean barbecue, mango habanero, guava barbecue, stinging honey garlic, or signature barbecue. Do whatever the crunch you want with any of our new KFC Saucy Nuggets. 100% real, 100% a deal. Only available for a limited time at your favorite KFC. KFC Saucy Nuggets drip. It's finger licking good.
Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then Fine Threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then Fine Threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place. Is your place. Is your place.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. You can buy your local paper at Freeport convenience stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Now is the time to reach your Grand Bahama Market with affordable packages, including print and digital. Call GB News sales representative Kavandre at 822-6717 or message him on WhatsApp for ad rates. Classified ads are now available every Tuesday as well. Keep up with everything Grand Bahamian every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. On Radio 96.9 FM.
It's time for The Buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it. Screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. Broken, the schools closed, the prisons
Gotcha on the Wednesday, November 27th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and Mary Jane in your company right up until 6 p.m. And we're entering the buzz right now, all brought to you, of course, by John's Shoes. And don't forget, bring your Junkanoo vision to life. Create stunning Junkanoo costumes around John's durable, comfortable scrubs. Available in a variety of colors designed for ultimate flexibility and protection. They're perfect for crafting and dancing. Starting at just $12. Get yours now in a variety of colors at John's Carewear. Both locations, John's Plaza Carmichael and the flagship store over there on Rosetta. And don't forget, both of those locations available for you Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. John serving you is a pleasure. All right, let's jump into the text real quick before we get into the buzz. And remember, phone lines are open, text lines are open. Whatever you buzzing on, let us know. Naughty, the Southern District of New York does not play. They are serious. That's the same organization that charged P. Diddy, Jeffrey Einstein, and other high-value defendants. Those Bahamians who were charged are basically finished. Isn't that where Samuel Bankman-Fried was charged too?
SBF as well, and I think you said Einstein, it's Jeffrey Epstein.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize. Texter.
The Southern.
There I go reading you, and it's Elstein that you put in there, but it was Epstein, and I said Einstein. So there you go.
There you go. Well, the texter has a point. The Southern District of New York has a reputation for being very aggressive. They're so much so that they're often referred to as the sovereign district of New York, because they, move to the beat of their own drum. If they've brought these charges, then it is definitely serious business,
Look at the track record, like the texter says. They don't play. And for these to be tried and hauled for, this has been going on for a while.
Yeah, and they have a 90% conviction rate, the Southern District of New York. So, like I said, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. But right now, there are certain steps that we can take as a country to safeguard our reputation in the meantime. Because the problem with this particular case is you do have high-ranking officials that have been arrested. You do have this... and we don't know yet if it's justified, but you have these accusations being leveled out there that a high-ranking politician is involved and that, $2 million, involved, cocaine, guns.
Episode of Miami Vice.
I mean, it's so terrible. And at this point in time, and our prime minister has been, and I think the AG's office have been trying to, make some strides in terms of holding those countries that manufacture the guns accountable. Do you know how crazy this looks? Do you know how bizarre this looks?
Not a good look. Again, internationally. Two cops, Curtis and Roger, just exposed the dirty underbelly of law enforcement. Cocaine, guns, betrayal. These aren't just criminals. They're traitors wearing badges, spitting on every honest officer's sacrifice. Prime Minister talks about shaking trees, more like burning down the whole corrupt forest. The Bahamas isn't just losing 2 officers. We're losing our soul.
Texter has a point that this has wider implications than just the 2 persons involved. And the fact that they're from different, branch, like one is police, the other is defense force. If they could hit them with a RICO charge, I'm sure.
I'll get to you in a second. Naughty, regardless of who the minister is that's implicated, the Minister of National Security needs to resign forthwith. This is probably the greatest threat to national security in a while. Either the minister knew what was going on or his subordinates have outsmarted him. I ain't got nothing to say but the COP. Boy, I've been hearing cries for the COP's resignation. Let me know what y'all think about that as well, too.
So either they're saying Mr. Monroe should have known, or either he knew or should have known.
Either you should have known or you should have been smart enough to realize somebody was working around you and you had some moles in your department that were going to make you look bad at some point. You should have been on top of things.
I'm going to wait for him to further elaborate. The Prime Minister seemed to hint that maybe they were doing some sort of investigation. If you were, how you let the feds
all I can tell you
beat you to it with your own people?
They have some great spins coming out of the OPM's office, so I got to see it. I got to see it.
They ain't shaking that soft
some
on
of them
crime.
spinning like a twister.
Not shaking that soft on crime right now.
Caller, how are you? Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty, I am good, man. How are you?
I'm good, happy. What's going on?
All right, yeah, man. And, MJ,
hey.
Let me just welcome you back, man.
Thank you.
I'm getting concerned. I thought you
So summer's over. I'm back.
All right, good to have you back, man. The guy who hosted Harvard Show today, him and his wife, they were on, and I said, well, what happened to MJ, man?
We trailblazers, so that sounds good.
It's so good to hear your voice.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
Add that extra to make Naughty look a little bit better.
Oh, wow.
Always made me look better, man. I wouldn't be the man I am today without her. I wouldn't be where I am today without her. It's all MJ.
Praise the Lord for that. But, Naughty, I feel like our country is imploding. This government is imploding. I feel like the country is out of order. That there's no structure in this country right now. This is how I feel right now. As a senior citizen, I feel like like Bremen always says, we need justice, law, and order in this country.
Right.
And it has to start, the government has to take the lead in establishing order. The government sets the tone. Like the old people say, heavy the head that wears the crown.
Right.
The Prime Minister and his leadership, they have to take a country.
I agree.
It seems like we almost...
Here's another one for you, Happy. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yes, and you asked for the job. You said you were ready. You said that, it was going to be...
Ready to go from day one.
Things were going to be different, that, we were going to be transparent and accountable and all of these things. And, and it seems like, every 5 years we tend to elect these individuals with the promises, and every 5 years, for the most part, we have bias,
remorse.
And we have to get this country back on track. Our young darlings are being killed, our elderly are being murdered. There's no respect for the law. High-ranking officials, I understand, they don't have no respect for the law on the streets. They run the red light. They do this and they do that. So, what do you expect the general citizenry?
Boy, Happy, we lost who we are in our identity a long time ago, man.
We have to get this country. The international community, they're looking at us. But we have to, as a people,
yes,
we have a country we want for our children.
Absolutely. We have a role to play. Thank you.
Good stuff, Happy. Always good to hear from you, man.
Hey, Naughty.
Hey, what's happening?
Right on, man. What's going on?
All good.
Sona, you got Mary Jane and that was your...
Yeah, MJ had a day too.
How are
yeah,
you?
Man.
All right. Good afternoon, Naughty and Mary Jane.
Hi.
Good. How you doing, Mary Jane?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. I want to live in a country where there is natural justice. What about you, Mary Jane?
Oh, this Anton?
Yeah, this is Anton.
You sound a little different. Why you sound like you was under the bed? I didn't even recognize the voice. Normally I know it's you. What's happening? You been on the driveway?
Boy, I read you, Nori. I read you, listen to the conversation.
All right, but what you got,
tell
Anton?
us your thoughts on what's happening right now.
Well, I believe that there should be no premature action. I believe that everyone is entitled to due course in proceedings, natural justice. I believe that no one should be punished based on an allegation. If we resort to belittling ourselves to that kind of thinking, then we are moving around without any kind of compass, without any kind of morals, and certainly without any kind of law and due process. I don't want to live in that kind of country.
Let me ask you this, and I'll try to hew as closely to something that's actually happened recently. So recently we had a member of parliament accused and charged before the courts in a case that has since been adjudicated. At that time, the prime minister thought it wise to relieve him of his duties, his additional duties outside of his MPship, while the wheels of justice took their course. Was that the correct thing to do in your mind, in your natural justice world?
What the prime minister didn't fire him. The prime minister asked him
you're
to
missing the
step
point.
down.
Yes, he stepped down.
There is a difference.
Correct.
There is a difference. He asked him to step down while the proceedings were underway.
So in your world of natural justice that you were just advocating for, where does that stand? Because you're telling us we should hold on and wait. And I get it. Nobody's saying that the person is guilty. We're simply saying, and especially, I want you to focus on this just for me, Anton. The nature of the accusations leveled in the Southern District of New York is such that they're saying that there were persons that helped facilitate what I would call, RICO, a whole racket, right? And the possibility that such a person, even while they clear their name, has access to our country's most sensitive information, continues to sin, is just unacceptable to me. We do not rush to guilt to say that the person is guilty, but we must make some. Let me finish first. We must make some smart decisions because we've already been outsmarted in the sense that our own people, who we may have been keeping an eye on, have now been arrested in Florida by other law enforcement. Go ahead.
Okay, let's take it back to the first situation you drew, where you spoke about a matter that was already adjudicated.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Natural justice in the course for that individual. They have every entitlement and every right to sue the government of the Bahamas for whatever damages and loss the individual would have suffered to himself and to his family and to his career and to his reputation.
That person, wait a minute, stop. The person you're referring to serves at the pleasure of the prime minister. What are you talking about?
The prime minister is not above the law in this country. No one.
They serve at the pleasure of the prime minister. If he says to them, I do not want you in that position anymore, the decent thing to do would be resign.
To the next point that you raised, I'm Mary Jane.
Go ahead.
No one is above the law in this country, inclusive of the Prime Minister, the Attorney General, the Commissioner of Police, the Commodore of the Royal Bahamas.
We agree on that.
They're all subject to the laws of this country.
We agree on
just
that.
like the common, like the maid cleaning up the restrooms, the Prime Minister and everybody else, including us. We are all subject to the laws of this country.
Okay, get to the point where the Prime Minister should have this person in their cabinet while this continues. Go ahead.
Give me 2 minutes to make my point.
Please.
Thank you. And so that individual has the right and deserves to be restored and made whole. Another legal term. They're entitled to be made whole as a result of what they suffered. And I pray to God that they pursue it to whatever angle is necessary legally. Now, moving on to the final point that you made. I don't get caught up in emotionalism of any conversation. I believe in looking at the facts. I believe in understanding what the law are. The laws are that applies to the situation. And in this case, the individuals have only been indicted. They have only been indicted. They haven't even been
we're
taken
not
to
talking
court.
about the individuals. I don't know if you caught the conversation a little bit late.
No,
but we're referring to the political person that may or may not be involved. That's the focus of this conversation.
You asked 2 points, Mary Jane. You spoke to the individuals whose matter has already been adjudicated, and then you spoke to the 11 or 13 individuals who has been indicted.
I'm not talking about those individuals. We literally said that their case is before the Southern District of New York, and it'll be adjudicated there in foreign lands, mind you. But the point that we were speaking to was the possibility that a high-ranking politician, politician who may or may not be in our cabinet as we speak, may have some involvement, and that is something that you do not take your time acting on. Okay?
Well, same as the Prime Minister did with Prime Minister Davis, to be specific, with his parliamentary secretary.
Right.
Same as former Prime Minister Christie did with his senior cabinet minister, who's brought under such scrutiny. It's natural.
Yes.
It's the natural
Thank
justice
you.
for you to ask
We
them
got to the same
simply-
point.
No,
You
no,
went
no,
all
hold on,
around
hold
the
on,
mulberry
hold
bush
on.
to come right back to where I was standing. Thank you.
No, Mary Jane. It's natural justice for you to ask them to step aside while the proceedings...
Potato, tomato,
He's trying to
tomato.
make a distinction without a difference. Thank you, Antoine.
Hold on, but I got a question for Antoine.
There's a complete difference, though, Naughty and Mary Jane, in asking someone to step aside and firing someone because you want to send a message that we are a country of law and order. That is not how you send that message.
That is, if the person is in the cabinet, they would be considered to be an honorable person, because I'm going to assume they're either in the House or in the Senate. And the honorable thing to do while your name is under such scrutiny, because you best believe that name is going to come out, the honorable thing to do is to even remove any kind of,
And that's
negative
the practice in our
blowback.
country. That's not far removed
Negative
from
blowback. Right.
that's
So
not
when I
far removed from
said
what Prime
he
Minister
should have
Davis
their
has done.
resignation on his desk, it should come from the person, okay? And whether the Prime Minister kind of moves them in that direction, that's up to
Mary
him.
Jane,
Yes.
that's not far removed from examples Prime
Exactly.
Minister Davis has already undertaken, nor is it
So
far
we
removed
wanna
from
see that
practices
continue.
of previous Prime Ministers in
Yes.
our country. I'll end with this point.
But I got a question for you, though, Antoine, before you go.
Go ahead, Naughty.
No, make your point, and then I mine is totally separate.
Go ahead, Antoine.
Okay, all right, cool. And so as it relates to our country, we are a country where we don't want to be seen as people who abuse authority either in the process of coming across as a law-abiding country. There is a process that has to be taken. There are conventions that are already in practice in this particular cabinet and in our country. I would like to see that steady and firm and considered hand and not cave in any way, shape, or form to pressures. Because at the end of the day, there's still a big picture of law and order in our country. And if we subject ourselves as parliamentarians and as citizens of the country to abide by the law and order, natural justice, and due process. What's your question, Nori?
All right. Separate question.
Separate topic?
Separate topic.
Oh.
And because me and you have talked about this and debated, and I'm sure the minute I bring this up, another, card carrying member, the PLP, that one who always calls me when I talk about international brand damage, is going to call in. But, Antoine, is this not another glaring example of international brand damage to the Bahamas under this administration? On the heels of SPF and FTX and a few other things, is this not another now glaring international embarrassment for the country? Brand damage, in your opinion?
That's a very interesting question, right? Both of those questions, as it relates to SPF and as it relates to the current indictment in the United States involving senior officials of the government, are interesting questions, and I'll tell you why. For this very same point, both of those instances, Nori, if you look at the timeline, began under the previous FNM.
Oh my
and
God!
And in the words of the Rock, it doesn't matter when it started. Here it is, because it's finishing now.
You have the baton. Run! You have the baton. Run!
Sorry, Mary Jane. I can answer the question. I'll end with this. And it's going to take a PLP, Brave Davis-led administration to settle the matters. Thank you for the opportunity.
Have a good one, Antoine. Regard to the farm, bro. Let's get to these other calls. Talking heads.
Good afternoon.
Naughty and Mary Jane.
Hey, how are you, Jeff?
Boy, the conversation was exhausting. Let me tell you, let's draw an illustration here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that if you look at the cases that the United States government or the courts had against our Bahamian people, and our people were sent packing to the United States, extradited to the United States. You know what I find so ironic? You know, everyone says that the United States, when they come at you with information, they come at you with information. They ain't guessing. They already got their information, and they got sufficient to come at you with. And it's really amazing that had this been a bunch of other persons, you will hear everyone get thrown under the bus. You know, the downswagging isn't that these names that have been called already, you know, the police officers, ain't that, you know, even though this is a very serious indictment on our police force, on the country as a whole. But everybody's interest is on this politician whose name they refuse to call in the local media.
But Jeff, because it's eerily reminiscent to our younger days when politicians would be called out and named in these kind of things under prior PLP administrations.
And I don't see what's the difference.
And that's
the
history.
bottom line here is that they're waiting for the shoe to drop in the United States, where the United States courts are going to call this person by name, and then our local media and everybody's going to hitch their bandwagon onto it, and then bring this name out. It's ridiculous.
And Jeff, look where they are. They're up there in the southern
high places.
district. But let me show you something. That courthouse is famous for having some of the best canary food ever. Okay. So a lot of plea bargains and a lot of deals get cut before things go down. So it'll be very interesting if we hear about it sooner rather than later. But we are going to hear about it.
Between New York and anytime you hear these cases go into any one of those courts, trust me, the tree is going to be shaken enough that whatever's in that tree is going to come falling out. And I hope to God that these people do not go and take on the whole burden of this matter and let the tree shake and everyone involved, their names are exposed. We are sick and tired of the corruption in this country. And it isn't just on the police force. And it isn't just on the defense force. You're talking about name, brand, and trying to protect the image of the country. But guess what? The image of the country is already tarnished. Too many times. Every time we turn around, there's a new scandal. There's a new this. There's a new that. I don't care who is innocent, because the innocent will always be innocent at the end of the day. But the guilty parties who is creating all of this nonsense for the black eye for Bahamian people, we need to bring them for justice. And if you think they're going to be brought to justice in this country, sad to be our cry, because it ain't going to happen. Thanks for taking
All right, Jeff. Good
you.
stuff. Now, listen, Corliss, I see I'm coming to you right now. I got to get to some of these texts. But MJ, isn't, some of that considered hearsay? So that's why they're not really...
The name
Correct.
that allegedly, the man, said it would be hearsay. It's not proven, The thing that is really, really disturbing, though, is that you have two separate branches of our armed forces coordinating persons, and you have such high, one of them is a superintendent, correct? One of the accused is a superintendent. This is serious business, So you have to take it seriously.
All right, let's get to the text. We got several. Naughty, why don't y'all relax? Y'all didn't see how Lincoln Bain confronted Pintard in the press conference to solve y'all issues? Well, first of all, Lincoln can't solve my issues. Trust me. Second of all, I saw Mr. Bain grandstanding again with another grandiose photo op, piggybacking another issue that he likes to do. Now, I'm waiting for the day when he comes with an original line and an original platform and an original topic to jump on. I will support him 100%. You know why? Because it's an original thought. I've seen him piggyback every issue, including natural resources to Bitcoin. Great job of piggybacking and grandstanding. But where's the solution? Where's what am I going to do going forward? It's a lot of finger pointing, a lot of bully boy tactics. But
today was very unfortunate. It was a terrible look when you have a situation like this where so many people are concerned and looking to political leaders to solutions. Having that kind of a back and forth was not only unseemly, but it was unnecessary. Everybody, including Mr. Pintard and Mr. Bain, can speak on the points they want to speak on. I don't think that level of disrespect was needed.
And Mr. Pintard had several good one-liners. Just boom. Mic droppers. But anyway, And very cool and calm and collected as well, too. Naughty, with all due respect to the Prime Minister, but does he really think that the U.S. Attorney will give him details about this case, which could compromise the case, especially when it seems as if law enforcement and government officials can't be trusted?
And let me tell you, just the inclusion of the fact that the officer named the political person involved, that's kind of disturbing, because it's almost like they put it in there to let it come from that source. You know what I mean? Just to have that person say it, as opposed to them. If it was, because I'm imagining that a lot is being said right now, but if it was wholly without merit, I would wonder about the wiseness of Mr. Williams, Damien Williams, who's the attorney in the Southern District of New York. I would wonder about the wiseness, particularly since he seems to have a sort of a relationship with the Bahamas, with the SBF thing, the FDF, of him even having that included in the indictment. So it's a little bit of smoke,
But
and you know what they say.
Where there's smoke, there's
So,
fire. And
pay
some mirrors,
Pay
too.
attention, class.
When the wicked rule, there is turmoil, Naughty, all through the land. The PLP administration even ain't seem focused on peace, order, and good governance. They deflecting from every issue and worrying about the F&M and election. Watch for Fred Mitchell's rant today or a 6-minute voice note. The Prime Minister is really an airbagger, only flamming. We need to do a study as to why it is so coincidental that crime and lawlessness increases under every PLP administration. How do you really feel, Texter?
Is that a fact, or they just kind of feel that way? I mean, I don't know if that's actually a
Let's
fact.
go to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
How you doing, Naughty?
Hey, what's happening?
All right. I think, is one thing that we are missing here,
And what is that?
How long does it take to write a 100-page indictment?
How long does it take to write an 800-page indictment?
No.
I don't know. Maybe they have some indictment writers, in the bureau that know how to write it pretty fast. I don't know.
No. How long does it take for a 100-page indictment?
I don't know. Tell me how long it takes to write an 800-page indictment.
I think he's saying it's 100 pages.
100 page or 800 page?
100.
100-page indictment. How long it take then? Tell me. You seem like you watch a lot of Law and Order.
I don't know, but it was that thing was typed out and written way before this weekend, and the arrest. See, I think they are only able to arrest you on U.S. soil.
Right. They waited, obviously. Mm-hmm.
You see,
Mm-hmm.
and that.
Them
and
trips
that
to Walmart
is
will get you every time.
and that is what triggered an indictment that was already in place.
So it was unsealed, you think?
Huh?
It was there sealed and then unsealed once they
waiting.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
Now
it's interesting.
Now the issue is that for that amount of stuff to be in writing, somebody had to turn over. And that's the problem we're going to have.
Okay.
All right, thanks. And I appreciate the call as always, man.
We get you.
Hope you're doing
Thank
well.
you.
Good stuff. Let me get these other texts in here real quick. Naughty, if we are serious, why don't we hold these people with these high positions more accountable to the laws? Corruption equals death penalty. Simple. We are not serious. 2 cops, Curtis Road. Okay, yeah, we got that one earlier. All right. Any matters investigated by those police are now questionable. We need a probe and a commission of inquiry ASAP.
Oh.
Hi, Naughty. You don't find it interesting that the U.S. accusations along with the Canada accusations come out that we being squeezed for? No, we are not giving any land to undocumented aliens who they expel. That's where you going with it. Boy, Dexter, boy, you got some far-reaching tentacles today. Here's another one. Naughty, is this not the Bahamas' first rodeo? You forgot the 70s and 80s.
It feeling kind of 80-ish, Drew.
Great show as usual, and its prison is still better than Fox Hill. Their biggest problem is you get more time in jail for drugs than murder. Good news, the government could request for them to be sent back to the Bahamas. Great show as usual. In the U.S., you are not innocent until proven guilty. In the Bahamas, you're guilty by public opinion. We Bahamians don't play chief. you got to go to court, you're guilty for life. Good day, Naughty. This is one police case that's not going away. Ain't like Michael Johnson case. Plenty head will roll over this one. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. I was very disturbed to hear about the two ladies that were assaulted and murdered last week. I was also disturbed watching Parliament this morning with the Speaker. Naughty, also, we need MJ for more than one day. I think we should have our own show on Guardian Radio. I think she should have her own show on Guardian Radio, too.
In the House this morning, a lot of people that watched that, I have to say that I wish that it had turned out differently. I know the Speaker, Patricia, maybe in her opinion, the leader of the opposition didn't meet certain criteria. But I think that when you do have these instances where, you're speaking about something of national importance, and I think we can all fairly agree that something like this is of national importance. Like I told you guys, we were trending on social media today. That doesn't happen often. It's even worse when it's for bad things. But, she didn't extend any grace to the leader of the opposition. And I thought that was unfortunate because in times like this, it's good to hear from, all of our political leaders. It was good to hear from the Prime Minister, even though I wish his speech was more fulsome in showing that, aggressive, we're going to get to the bottom of this because people are tired. And on the same token, hearing from the opposition leader would have been good today. So he wasn't granted that grace, and that was unfortunate. And a lot of people seem to have reverted back to their former opinion of the Speaker.
Let's get back to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Hi, Naughty. Hi, MJ.
Hi,
how are you, my MJ?
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Stop it. Stop it.
I am fantastic.
No, wait a minute. Stop.
Good to hear from you.
I need to know something. You call here all abrasive, all mad, all ornery. Afternoon, Naughty, blah, 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 blah. Like rapid fire machine gun. Not today.
In love today.
It's all, hey, MJ, shut up, Naughty. How's my... Go ahead. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
That's why when Sack lose, I rejoice.
My MJ, you bring light to any room, okay? That's all I can say because if I say anything else, I get in trouble. But let me tell you something, Naughty. Okay? And I know MJ will agree. See, Anton called your show lotioning again, okay? He nothing but a pigeon. But he don't get emotional. He surely got emotional when it came to Keith Black, okay?
Allegedly.
But more important, the PM in the House read from a statement. He didn't speak from his heart. He spoke because he had to, or he spoke because he had to. He ain't got no choice. He has no feelers. His hands can't reach in the U.S. with federal court in New York. He can't do it. Ain't nothing they could do. The name is out there. Sooner rather than later, we'll know who the politician is. And that politician needs to get the hell out of our House of Assembly.
Thank you.
Don't come to me talk about sturdy hand of Brave Davis. Well, which part of his hand was sturdy as of the 16th of September, 2021? Which part? All Brave does is talk fluff to this country and its citizens as we get angrier and angrier with the foolishness. Okay?
Yeah,
they are wrong because if it was me or you doing the things that his people, who the Bahamian people elected, were doing, which part of Shirley Street or downtown we would be seeing? The only part that we see is from the windows of the bus taking us Foxville and bringing us back to court. So don't come to me with the sturdy hand of Brave Davis. He missed the part where Brave Davis got called to the principal office. He had no choice but to go to the U.S. Embassy today.
Oh, I thought he invited the charge, or it was the other way around?
No. He said he had an appointment.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I gotcha.
Good stuff.
Thank you so much. It's so good to hear from you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon.
My darling, after hearing you today, yes. Yes, I will.
Bye, Felicia. All right, 5 o'clock. We're going to keep the lines open. for a little bit
Just
more.
a little bit, because I
and
don't want
then
the
we'll talk
sports people to,
we'll
get
match
on
it in
me.
the sports.
All right.
Some sports people coming for you with your Spurs. Muff them coming for you. That's all I can say.
I got one big, tall Frenchman that's going to protect me. Trust
Frenchman,
me.
they can't
One
fight.
7
They
footer.
can't fight.
One
They can't
7
fight
footer.
at all.
Young and strong.
Never go
and
to
handsome
war.
too.
Always show up and clean up the dead bodies with their tugboat. But that's it. You'll never see him in the fray. Wait. You want some more champagne? Let's go to the break. Flip side of the break. We'll go over a little bit into the 5 o'clock. Great stuff so far. Texas, keep it coming. We'll be right back at you.
Telling me he said they could kiss my hoe. More specifically, they could kiss my. I'm an.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This KFC drip just won't quit. Step your flavor game up with the new KFC Saucy Nuggets. 100% real premium white meat nuggets, sauced in your choice of one of 5 KFC sauces: Korean barbecue, mango habanero, guava barbecue, stinging honey garlic, or signature barbecue. Do whatever the crunch you want with any of our new KFC Saucy Nuggets. 100% real, 100% a deal. Only available for a limited time at your favorite KFC. KFC Saucy Nugget Strip. It's finger licking good.
Naughty Johnny's restaurant can only be described as the experience again and again and again. Their motto is simple food done well. You're welcome into their home at Naughty Johnny's, where you can dine on crack conch fritters, and other Bahamian favorites. There's also an international flair that's guaranteed to offer something for everyone. Enjoy a good meal and listen to a live band on their patio Friday and Saturday nights, or brunch on Saturday and Sunday. Only at Naughty Johnny's restaurant in the Old Town Plaza, Old Fort. They're open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday. Naughty Johnny's. Well worth the
Are you dreaming of an EV? Now is the time. Easy Car Sales is offering unbelievable deals on 2024 models with end-of-year discounts. Plus, quick and simple in-house financing makes it easy for everyone to go electric. Take a test drive and experience the thrill today at EV City on Abundant Life or Gladstone Road. Step into a smarter, more affordable drive with Easy Car Sales, your trusted EV and warranty provider since 2016.
No matter what.
Feeling lucky? Here's Cuban Willie's numerology report. Brought to you by the Island Game.
Buenos dias, soy Joe Cuban Willie, and it's time once again for my numerology report, brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. Today is Wednesday, the hump day, and we're going to get over the hump together, baby. Pelota for you. The 3 words for you today. 093. 093. 093. Play it and win today in the Island Games. Stay winning, my friend.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We can make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, the Central Bank of the Bahamas, the Cleveland Clinic, Easy Car Sales, Fine Threads, Grand Bahama News, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, First Seas Island Games, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. The system broken, the school's closed, the prison's open. We ain't got nothing to lose, everybody we rollin'. Everybody we rollin'. With some light-skinned girls and some Kelly Rollins. In this white man world, we the ones chosen. Good night, cool world.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, November 27th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and your company along with Mary Jane right up until 6 p.m. Let's go to this phone line real quick, and then I got some text to get into. Talking Heads.
Yes, good afternoon to you. And that's your wife, Naughty?
Yes, sir.
Always good to keep them close.
Very close in this case.
Yes,
good afternoon.
Yes, Naughty, I find it very strange that you can be a professional police investigator, CID chief, or whatever the case may be. But you have these cell phones, and, every cell phone has a CMOS chip.
Mm-hmm.
The CMOS chip is responsible for retaining your memory. There's a battery in the computer, but the chips, it keeps all the memory up and up, so when you try to get my number, well, of course, the number is stored in the phone. But guess what? These phones are manufactured in China. I think it's a stupid thing for you to be talking personal business on these phones, not realizing that it's possible that someone could be listening.
Are you saying that allegedly, in your opinion, China may be listening in on phone calls if you have a Chinese-made cell phone? Is that what you're saying?
Naughty, I know they know everything about their citizenry, and they use it they can tell them when they go to the bathroom and how long the bathroom was flushed for and so forth. But I give you a little hint, Naughty. You have all these little WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger and Telegram and WeChat and the whole 9 yards, right? But if you really want the safest one to use, it's called Signal. Signal is the one that Edward Snowden used. So if you really want to be secure,
Signal it up.
Signal. Don't use the rest of them because everybody could either decrypt it eventually and listen in, eh?
All right.
Speaking of Snowden, he was the one
I
that...
appreciate the
Thank you.
technological advice, too.
Speaking of Snowden, now that he brought it up, wasn't it Snowden that kind of was the whistleblower about a decade ago? I think it was 2014 when he said that the NSA, the National Security Agency of the U.S., was secretly monitoring, recording, and stockpiling virtually every conversation made on a cell phone in the Bahamas.
Did not cause some friction?
A little friction, but I realized that I never heard the resolution from that. Did we ever get it? I mean, is it still happening?
Probably.
What is it called?
Maybe that's how you get indictments.
Someone text me and remind. Oh, these texters are so fast. Sommelget. Thank you so much, Dexter. Yeah, is Sommelget still a thing? Are they still getting our conversations?
Are you guys having a little family row, or am I just walking into
No.
something nice here?
No. Good afternoon. Hello, Burley.
Hi, MJ. How are you?
I am good. How you doing?
Thank God for life. Hi, my brother. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
You good?
I in great shape today.
All right.
I had a very good day today, and my Dodgers did a great signing. I'm comfortably happy.
Who did they sign? You'll tell
We
us.
signed Snell, the pitcher from the Giants. He was a Padre. He went to the Giants for 2 years. They didn't treat him right. He was an happy day. He didn't take the player's option, and he took a 5-year, $132 million or $182 million contract with the Dodgers. $30-some million a year.
That's nice. Wow.
He got a $52 million bonus, and he got some of it is deferred. We're good at deferring payments.
These baseball numbers starting to get so crazy now.
Lord, Father,
Guess
God,
what?
Daddy.
800 million.
The money the Dodgers make.
Uh-huh.
The money the Dodgers make, they need to pay the players because they're
Gotcha.
making buku. They printing
Yeah,
money
I
in
mean,
LA
I would
right
think so because these numbers are crazy.
Listen, they jumped from 100,000 Japanese attendees to over 250,000 last year and more requests. They can be over 300,000 Japanese coming, and they ain't coming spending no $5.
Wow.
So
Thank
the money
you,
the Dodgers
Shohei.
making out of Japan, the money they're making out of Japan, paying Shohei Ohtani's
That's
salary.
Otani money.
Okay, well, we're still going over a little bit, locally, so you're going to have to put that on pause until we get into sports.
He
Not
can't
a
resist
problem.
talking about his
Are we talking about the
Dodgers.
excitement in the House of Assembly today?
Well, we get into that, but I got to get a couple of texts in. So let me knock them out real quick. There is no construct in the law to sue for damages after beating a criminal case in court, unless one can prove prosecutorial misconduct. Text, I would have got that right the first time, but you split it up because you can't type good.
I'm glad I didn't have to read that.
What is Anton talking about? Well, we were asking the same question on
I
that.
didn't even want to go down that road. Detours after detours.
All right. Wait a minute. Okay. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. It's good to have you back, MJ. These are terrible things happening in our country. Anton always have the answers. He knows everything. I'm so happy you don't let him on your talk show like that. The chips must fall where they may. This is embarrassing for such a little country. The FNM was only in for 5 months. The PRP has been in for 3 years. The PRP always hiding things. Great show. FM was in for 5 months.
I think they're being hyperbolic when we get to
5 minutes. Trump said there are some bad people in the Bahamas after Hurricane Dorian and discussing aid. Looks like Donnie knew more than us. Dear PM, there will be no spin with the federal agents. Unfortunately, the Bahamian people now trust the U.S. feds more. SBF, Ismailian, and now this. This is more brand damage. Don't be surprised if a canary gets Epsteined. Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Let's
Okay.
hope that they don't get Epsteined. Nobody wants to get Epsteined. But if they want to turn, Puffy's in there. Puffy could do the remix and the album on the Canary. We could hear the whole thing play out. And Puffy could still come in and say, he could come in and be like, he could be like, tweet, tweet, tweet. It's the remix, tweet, tweet. You know Puffy?
Stop.
Yeah, man.
Stop.
No, did he? All right. Carter, I see you. I'm coming to you right now. And one is a pensioner. Can Royal Bahamas Police Force do pension and still have active duty? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I guess under certain administrations they can. Good day. Let's remember the immigration issue in Keith Bell, too. The Asian immigrants were never ID'd, and that incident appears to have been abandoned and done. Hey, Naughty, it's an indictment on the leadership that these crimes are happening under their noses. They prancing up and down and don't know what's going on in their own departments and organization. Mr. PM, please shake the tree. Your government is looking a little dodgy. Wow, this one is a long one. How do you really feel, text? All right, here we go. You've been following minute by minute on this show. I keep asking the question, which politician would have the power to farm out police officers as resources to help Colombians in the transshipment of cocaine through any airport in the country and could further offer government and police planes for use in the same? Who has the power and the tentacles everywhere to make that promise? The next question, could any minister do this with no one around him being the wiser and no one asking questions?
This is the part that, makes me uncomfortable because this is what's going to happen unless we get some swift resolution, because everyone's going to start looking at everybody with a little side eye because it's like, who is this person involved?
Yeah,
I know that the deputy prime minister was on the record today saying,
Wasn't
it ain't me.
He did a Shaggy
It ain't me.
impersonation.
So thank you, Mr. Cooper. We scratch your name off the list. It
But
ain't
Mr.
you.
Cooper, it's your fault that the Dallas Cowboys and Thanksgiving tomorrow. I may, retract a little bit, but I still holding you responsible for the desecration of my Dallas Cowboys from last year to
Anybody,
now.
right? Anybody except your team.
Freddie will tell you, he paid a visit and we got blown out. After winning 16 straight home games, we got blown out by the Packers in the playoffs, and we ain't won a home game since, within 20 points. And we've lost, and it's all been blowouts.
Beautiful stadium. Can't win.
Wish we had beautiful management and ownership. I think the time of this indictment is a direct response to the PM using this language, his CARICOM speech, this language at his CARICOM speech last week, that we don't manufacture guns and we've hired a firm to investigate the feasibility of suing U.S. manufacturers. Well, that line of reasoning just imploded, and the issue's all over everybody. I was very disturbed when I heard the PM say he wants to make clear that no payment was made. You could have scooped me up off the floor.
That was very...
I abhor this
strange.
word phrasing that politicians do to cloak illegality. What do we call it when we engage in planning to do an illegal act but are arrested before said act is committed? It's called conspiracy, and it's equally as bad in the eyes of the law. So they can't put the word phrasing and parsing wool over our eyes.
I think I'm going to give our prime minister the benefit of the doubt that was just the lawyer in him because he read the indictment and he contrasted what was in the Tribune's headline as compared to what was actually stated in it. So maybe that's just the lawyer in him jumping out saying, now they didn't actually say the person was paid,
Remember that the indictment speaks to the involvement of senior police and government officials, plural. The same thing is happening and has happened in the Johnson voice tapes. The narrative is being spun that this is earth-shattering news, is limited to a single event. This spans activity over 3 years.
Yeah,
The
things
$2
getting
million was
shaky.
likely the cherry on top of all the other evidence.
Things getting a bit shaky.
All
That's
right.
for sure.
Speaking of rules, have you ever noticed that rules are in place generally to punish people you don't like? All right, let's go to the phone lines. Talking heads.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, or you say?
Afternoon.
Like somebody told me yesterday, right? But somebody told me yesterday on the state saying that the afternoons have local scandals and the PLBs have international scandals.
I didn't.
And we have far too many scandals as a country.
Yeah. Hey, I watching Roddy Munger, right? So, special advisor,
Sorry to hear that.
Roddy Munger trying to go back past for the afternoon and they could corruption, but he won't talk about the PLB corruption was going on.
I hope you call Rodney Shaw and tell him you listening to Naughty and MJ.
But I don't understand this brother, you know?
He ain't said.
But he ought to mix right up, man.
I noticed the emphasis on May 2021. That's, I mean...
Yeah.
He's still trying to go at the corruption, but he won't talk what's going on right now today. This man must have a plan for crime and stuff and everything. He ain't get no plan at all.
Look like-
I don't know what he's really there for.
Look like we have a plan to do crime the way crime is running rampant around society.
Yeah. One other thing, what happened to Bronny James, man? Bronny James taking an injury in the DG League. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I hear you trying to
about
get. I hear you trying to get into the big three. Ice Cube got a spot for him in one of them 3-on-3 teams.
Might do well there.
Probably do better there than in the G League. Good
Yeah.
stuff, caller.
Thank you, caller.
All right, let me jet these other ones. Naughty, do you guys know that the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, who is bringing the case, is set to resign on December 13th?
It's political. I mean, the last time the Trump administration came in, there were very few attorneys general that survived, once he started putting his people in place. So that's to be expected.
Hey, Naughty, I also want people to consider what it means for human trafficking. That is also big
Oh, my
money.
gosh.
And it's fair to say the same organizations are involved in that as well.
Taxter has a point.
Naughty, remember there was a murder at the airport recently? What are the chances that a suspect who was questioned and released is also now implicated in this same indictment as the officer in charge of the airport division?
Okay, so we go in a little bit far. This is a lot of speculation.
down
And
the
this is
rabbit
part
hole
that,
now.
that I hate, and it's gonna hang out there until we get some, resolutions to some of these, big stories that are impacting us. There's a vacuum in terms of information. I really wish, like I said, the Prime Minister had more, but I shudder to think he found. You think he found out last night when the rest of the world found out about these indictments? There was no heads up to our Attorney General. Because if that's the case, that's crazy.
Here's a little interesting one. Yes, Naughty, the Chinese listens in on our conversations. And remember those flat screens the government took allegedly. Remember those flat screens the government took from the Chinese that they put in the house? Maybe they're listening and spying through them, allegedly.
Anyway, Pearlie was going to tell us what he thought about the drama today. Pearlie.
A classic political game. They didn't want the leader of the opposition to speak because he was going to say some things.
Mm-hmm.
So let's shut it down. So they just did with, they've done it to each other.
Right.
The FNM has done it to the PLP in there.
Game
and,
political
just classic.
gamesmanship. Mm-hmm.
What I saw very interesting is I saw a clip showing the Attorney General sitting in the back of the room, waving his hand and giving signals to the speaker.
Allegedly.
I don't know. Allegedly. I saw him put his hand up and do the cutthroat thing, like the shut off.
Yeah, someone sent me that video.
I don't know how true that is.
I saw it, and the timing looks a little bit, it looks weird. Let's put it like that. But everything is looking weird with what's going on, these days.
But the bottom line is, and not because Dwayne Sands or Michael Pintard said it, but we need a commission of inquiry in this company and air it out.
I am now firmly, when it was first said a couple months ago, I was on the fence. I'm on that train now.
And people might say, ain't nothing to come out of it. Maybe nothing will come out of it, but at least the Bahamian people will know exactly who is who and what is what, and they can make decisions from there on other things.
Yes, that's true. Make a good point.
But the bottom line is we need to know because there's too much speculation. I've heard 6 or 7 different ministers named. I've heard possible potential political candidates from both sides.
Oy.
So my whole thing about it is let's air it out, let the chips fall where they may,
Yeah.
and let's clear it because right now the Bahamian people have no faith in the police force in this country.
Yeah.
And I know there are far, far more good police.
This is true.
Than there are bad police. Far more.
Yeah,
and them couple
you're
of
right.
bad police. Those couple of bad police are making it bad for the rest and causing them to get all kind of different response from people. People looking at them in disgust. People don't trust the police force. So you have to purge. You have to get out there. You have to have the commission of inquiry, and you have to let the chips fall. And then guess what? Whoever gets nailed by it, you shouldn't do it in the first place.
Yeah. No, a lot of people are calling for a commission of inquiry because it's too much now. Like, how much more y'all want us to deal with, Trying to survive. The cost of living is crazy, and now crime is really out of control. And I'm telling you right now, unless they get more aggressive, the soft, I've been hearing people say this administration seems really soft on crime, and it seems to be something that's going to stick to them unless they show us that
You
they're...
got You got one of the leading defense lawyers as the Minister of National Security. Do the math.
All right, let's get to it.
But what I'm concerned about is this is when this is when some people get stupid.
Right.
But you have to
dangerous.
rely on the police to protect you, but you don't trust the police right now. That's not a good equation, or that's not a good that's not good for Christmas. That's not good for the way it looks. That's not good for the people. That's not good.
No, not the way it feels. Yeah.
I right now don't feel safe because I don't know. I see a police car pass. I don't know if I can, but how much I get. What do you want? What are you doing? I don't know. That's not good. And that police I saw may be a very good police officer.
Right.
Which many more of them are. Vast majority, high 90%, much good cops. And you got a couple of bad cops making it bad for all of them. Let's purge this place, man.
Yeah, the country's taking on brand damage. And all of the institutions that we rely on every day, like we rely on police officers. We rely on our defense force. They're taking brand damage as well. This isn't good.
Naughty, I'm a little late today to your show, but I would like to know your view.
What is scary about this is, in 1967, Time magazine put out a article on the Bahamas calling it a corrupt nation and full of mafia in 1967. In 1984, Brian Ross from NBC
I remember that.
Condemning the Bahamas and laying out Joe Leader and Normanski and everything like that. And now we coming back in 2024, another thing. They might just start going back to Normanski.
Right.
What is this?
Right. I feel like we traveled back in time, between yesterday and today.
Every 40 years we get something like, every generation we get something like this.
But I thought we were past this. I'll be honest with you. This was kind of surprising.
This is shocking. This is shocking. I mean,
honestly.
I could understand the one with the voice notes a couple months back. I could almost understand. Not to say understand.
No, I know you're not condoning it, but you could rationalize it in your mind that it could happen.
Okay, we have corruption. It can happen. Blah blah blah.
Right.
But fellas, they're moving tons. That's pre. Pardon me, but I mean no disrespect to the man. That's pre-90 era.
That's what I'm saying. This is feel real old school.
I used to tell a story. I say back in the 80s, fellas would go and steal a drug dealer, 1 or 2 keys from the drug dealer, and he let that go. I say now if you do that, it's coming because of violence.
I disagree with you on that one, but that's a different argument over a cold one elsewhere.
But nowadays, if you move 1 or 2, that's all that drug dealer has. Like, he ain't like he got thousands. But the bottom line is, it has moved so far that you thinking that the interdiction by the police, all the DEA, the DE all working together, that you ain't getting much of them passing through like that anymore. Not through the Bahamas, but they hear tons, not thousands, not hundreds, tons. You all know what a ton of cocaine is?
Anyway, let me get on this. Naughty, your question in the FBI. Hope that canary sings loud and clear. But Lincoln is the only one who has the kahunas to talk loud and clear, because if he didn't, Pintard would have said nothing. He has the power to enlighten these MPs and does nothing. By the way, Lincoln don't piggyback off anybody. All right, then he's catch ride off other people's thoughts. If piggyback don't work for you, he's catch ride.
I'm trying to follow that. It was literally a back and forth.
And I just doubled down on it, Texter, okay? He is a piggybacker.
There was literally a back and forth in the House because the opposition leader wanted to make statements about it. So to say he wouldn't have talked about it, that justifies logic. We move on.
You're speaking for the Bahamian people because you grandstanding.
Yeah.
Just to get on the radio. If you open up the paper any day of the week, you see a statement or something coming from the opposition, from Michael Pintard, all right, with some intelligent talk. The only way you tell me that, other than, and he's in the papers every day, he doesn't grandstand like that. But you telling me you have to grandstand to get the people to hear your message?
You know the crazy.
You have to pull a stunt. That's Pinlin and thing those days back in the day when you had absolutely no other way to get your message out because there was no social media, nothing like that. You don't need the grandstand now.
And we need people.
You don't need to play on people's emotions to get sympathy votes and try to get people. See, that's the problem. We get all excited. We get all, but he's jumping up and down, and then they go vote and say, "Oh crap." A lot of Americans have buyer's remorse right now. I don't know, but you may see some different things thinking in the 2026 midterm elections in America. But the bottom line is, you don't have to grandstand to get your message across. And if you that small in your mind that somebody got to jump up and down, kick up and down for you to hear the message, then you ain't thinking, bro. And that's a sad indictment on our country as a people.
Wow, the irony in all that, because sounded like you were a little grandstandish right there yourself.
No, he wasn't. No, but I agree with you, Pearlie. Imagine having the press. Imagine the press being right there, and instead of turning and addressing them and trying to get their attention, you go and try and attack someone who's basically sending out their message as the official opposition leader. It's just a ridiculous waste of time.
Wouldn't it be better if the two oppositions combine and make one opposed to fighting each other and helping the government, or helping, because we're seeing corruption coming out now, helping would we assume allegedly is a corrupt government, get stronger because the opposition fighting amongst themselves?
Well, it wasn't a fight. One side was pulling a stunt.
Caller, I see. I'll get to you in 1 second.
Kind of sad. All right, go.
So you got to pull a stunt.
Right, yeah, stunting.
And carry on, Bob. When you just outside the house condemn the PLP for shutting down the opposition from speaking, and then you come in the minority room and you're not invited to begin with. It's not your press conference. You had your say outside in the press. And what I saw about it is, in watching this, the FNM left him alone, allowed him to have his press conference, allowed him to say what he had to say to the media. Once he was finished, they went to do their press conference. Why are you coming in behind them like that?
It was a terrible look, and Lincoln wasted an opportunity to be productive. So I don't know what the point of that was.
To be state-like, to be a stately.
Yeah, to show some gravitas, to show that he understands the seriousness and all of these playing around, joking, grandstanding.
Politely,
I mean, there's a time and a place for
with
everything.
all respect due to both of you,
all
my
right, go
colleagues.
ahead.
Can I get on to a different topic?
Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you.
Moving on.
Way too much time wasted there. Well, I never met one good, honest police yet, and Madam Speaker should have let Pintard speak, and they should seize all of their assets and hold them without bail until. Funny thing, people keep saying there are so many good police officers, yet every other day there's in the news doing something bad and contradicting.
Honestly, I know so many good police officers. Let me tell you.
3,000, almost 4,000 police officers, and less than 40 being bad.
Correct. The vast majority of them are good, but the bad ones get the attention.
I hate to say this.
I know some really good police officers. I know some good ones.
This is where I can end it right here. I second that thought there, Pearlie. I know some really good ones, too.
Yeah, of course. So many.
Lincoln prepared this protest from last week about the murdered child. So who was speaking?
Excuse me, he was standing in the opposition leader's office. Can we move on? Because you're not going to make any sense to anybody who has sense.
And he wasn't the first person who was doing it, too.
Standing in his office while he's giving a press conference and he's not piggybacking. Please.
Didn't Island T
make it make sense?
Didn't Island T get him involved in that?
Oh, gosh, please.
I've never seen one written press statement from the COI. All I see is they get out grandstand to get in the news, and after that, it's finished. I can't say I can pick up a piece of paper and say, this was the view he had on this issue. This is the view he had is written. Not because if the media tapes get lost, you have nothing. But you have nothing that you put pen to paper to stand what your views are, to say, this is what we believe on this. I see something coming from the opposition, and I see something coming from the government on a daily basis.
Yeah, no. I mean, the whole point of it is you have an opportunity to address the press that was right there in the room, and then you glance to make sense.
MJ, they had an interview outside the House of Assembly before the FNM went into the minority room.
So, but they follow them in there for? Why did they go in the minority room?
The opposition said, once they are finished, and I heard it with my ear, once they are finished, we'll have our press
Wow,
conference.
so grace extended, but no grace returned.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Remember when police never used to carry guns here in the Bahamas? Here's another one for you and MJ.
Many of y'all can remember this.
I remember that. The sticks. They had those sticks. Well,
I'm
not over, but the bad.
Why are MJ and Pearlie surprised? What functioning controls are there over the police? What kind of ongoing monitoring of wealth or ethics of officers are there? If there is not the infrastructure or will to properly monitor the police, some officers who can will abuse those loopholes and absence of true accountability.
I'm surprised because you are talking about not just the police force, but also we got a statement from the Commodore of the Defense Force. You're talking about just more than one branch. And to me, that is kind of shocking, especially if it's sprawling.
Okay, guys.
Let me ask us one question before we go. Doesn't every government employee from the position of deputy director and up, and I think at the same level on the police, the defense force, customs, and immigration, have to disclose
Listen to you guys.
Yeah, that's something we need to check out.
Yeah.
Listen to you guys berating and hating on Lincoln, but to be honest, none of you guys have the guts to do what he's doing. It don't take much guts to jump up and make noise and piggyback. It don't take no kind of guts.
Let me say this to the texter.
Regardless of, hold on, let me finish it. Regardless of,
Wait,
just so you can know my background, I'm 62 years old. I had my day of doing that in the 80s, with holding a sign saying the chief is the thief and standing by the airport, watching the young folks get slapped by Linden in Rawson, many of that texter. So don't say I don't have the guts. I just think it's now that other roles that I could play by talking about it on this radio station and bringing truth to light and encouraging other people to do what I've already done.
The regardless of the diplomacy, the jealousy and envy you guys espouse is astounding. Jealous of what?
Jealous of
A wannabe political with multiple court cases that he hasn't paid off yet, and judges' rulings that he hasn't dealt with, and multiple lies and multiple innuendos. I am jealous of that. Jesus. Please tell me there's something more.
Let's put the facts out there. In 2016, Lincoln Bain put in an application to run for the Free National Movement in Pinewood.
Okay.
Ain't that's the one when he went in the back of Pinewood taping up everybody's conversation indiscreetly or without them knowing?
Allegedly, that's okay.
When Ruben Ramin had his ratification,
Mhm.
Lincoln had a group of people, including his then fiancée or wife, I don't know if they were married yet, standing over with placards saying they want him to run.
And I just want to
if that was 8 people, that was a lot.
Okay, I guess this is.
And from that day to now, he was mad. He did not get that and called me a liar. Because him and I spoke that day, and he played like he didn't know what was going on, and I told him that's bad, from my lips to his ear.
Yeah, no,
So let's don't do that.
I
Let's don't
totally,
do that.
I totally hear you. Yeah, I totally hear you.
And
Troy. I agree with you 100%. I don't even think that
I don't want
person.
to get into that kind of talk.
Yeah,
about it, but,
that-
let's just talk the issues.
Yeah, you wouldn't even validate that with a response. It's silly.
Anyway, listen, one thing I'll tell you about this, I see this as COI data text in, but you've gotten way too much play because I didn't hear one solution. I heard finger pointing. You know what? Tell your leader, come up with an original thought and a solution how we get better. He got a whole hour on my show. One-on-one with the Naughty One and M.
I asked that question on the show, Naughty, and I was told go and read our website. And I'm saying you trying to sell to me. Other people the PLP trying to sell to me.
I hate to say this, but with a D average it proves we don't read. So sometimes we need some other things outside of reading and literature to get the message across.
You're gonna de-diversify NASA New Providence and try to build up the different islands. Exactly how you're gonna pay for that. Exactly how you're gonna encourage Bank of the Bahamas
You're
or
right.
Royal Bank
You're
or
right.
Dairy Queen or Kentucky or McDonald's or Wendy's to pack up and open up a store over there. Because if I listen, I can live on the island. All I need is a grill, a fishing line, and some other amenities, and I good.
You got it planned out.
Texter, listen carefully to what I said.
McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King and Kentucky, KFC, and Tropical Gyros. But if they can't bring a Tropical Gyros down there, what are they moving down there for?
Okay, and this the last of it. Clarify it, because I know you all COIs like to take something and run with it. Clearly, what I said was, let Mr. Bain come up with an original idea, put it on his platform, and have an original solution without piggybacking or drawing his own. And I will give him an hour on my show. All right? But at the end of the day, that needs to happen first. You get no freebies. You got to do it the E.F. Hutton way on my show. You got to earn it. And until you earn it,
It's little 80s throwbacks. Look
there
at
you
that.
go. And the respect you receive is the respect that you earn, Malcolm X.
Let me just point out to that COI person who's persistent in trying to
I
tell
love
us
that
that
consistency,
it made,
though. I
that it
applaud
makes sense.
that blind consistency.
Let me put it to them like this.
Next to bronsexuals, there's COIs. Ain't you? You're up there.
We've mentioned the COI a couple of times. We could have been talking about solutions that they proposed today. Instead, we're talking about the antics of their leader. That's the point. Put your ideas out there. Let us. But when you just start ranting and raving and accusing people of certain things, you're doing yourself a disservice. We could have been talking about whatever solutions y'all had to this. But that's not the thing. It got overshadowed with all of the foolishness that accompanied it. And I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but that's just the way that I myself feel and a lot of Bahamians feel.
Let's go to this phone line. Talking Heads.
Patience is a
boy.
Boy, and I just can tell you, thank you for your patience there, Skillaboo.
Thank you.
Hey, MJ.
Hey.
I like what you were saying. Pearly,
Yes, my brother.
you was making some sense until you start going little off concerning some other things I can help you with. But, Naughty, I always tell you, don't entertain the boy. What he name? Mystery. Now you entertaining Mystery, brother.
Who's mystery, brother?
Lincoln Bean.
Oh, Jesus, now you laid it down out for me. Okay. Now when you think about it, they may be related or they just carry on.
You're so wrong.
Mystery, I know you're listening. I was only joking. Don't take that as an insult.
Yeah, man, it looked like MJ was really hot.
I'm having a good time, honestly.
I love to say that you learn something
I know.
every day. You taught me something today, my brother.
I think he ain't into nothing.
Skill, I want you to believe, listen, we got a little extension here, and I got to get another call, and I got to get a couple of texts, right? But we might not have heavy sports today because me and Pearly and MJ got to get into the picks, and we got the final, 15. But I just want you to know you've convinced me. I picked your Dolphins to go on the road in the cold because Tua plays good in the cold ever since his days at Alabama. Miami 31, Packers 30 in the frozen tundra at Lambeau.
Okay, then. Now, what you did was you just caused me to don't go into the political arena. I'm glad you did that.
I'm glad you too, because you're old Mason man. You'll be there forever. You used to hang out with Bookie and Daddy O. Lord bless the dead. I know you're a Mason edition, dude. You come up under Bookie and Daddy O. Lord bless the dead. You talk politics forever.
No, but I saying if you get my message.
No, but I didn't check my phone.
Send it to the phone.
Didn't have a chance to, but I will check it as soon as I get off here. I got you.
Okay, bro.
All right?
I can tune in then.
Be safe, Skilla. All right, good to hear from you. Boy, this has been interesting. It's been a good one today, Pearly. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But you know what? And there's another question I wanted to ask. Stemming off of all of this, and a lot of people keep asking it, and I'm gonna put it out there. Do you think the COP should resign over all of this? Do you think that the chief of police should step down?
I'm not.
I don't know.
The honorable thing to do would to say, listen, it's under my leadership, but all of this thing happened under his leadership.
Correct.
Right. No.
So, he inherited, based on what you're saying, he inherited this. Now, if he knew about it and wasn't able to clean it up, if he knew about it and didn't do anything about it, that's a different story.
What I'm getting,
But-
Pearly, and I'm not trying.
We need a commission of inquiry.
Correct.
To be clear and know exactly what is what.
Correct, because what I'm getting is, not only with the COP, but with the Minister of National Security, I'm not defending anybody, but I believe there's some fiefdoms going on within those departments, right under the nose of these directors, and the directors don't know anything about it.
Probably.
People operating rogue. And I'm not defending because if it comes out and there's a commission or it comes to light that they were involved, and let the chips fall where they may. But right now,
You hear the stories, Minister and Pinta, them fighting with the PLP of their rows, and the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of National Security, the Ministry of Social Security, all they have them rows.
All right.
Threw his whole ministry under the bus the day before yesterday, but they gonna do more.
we got to get to this break, Pearly. Let's get this break in, and then when we come back off the break, we'll wrap up with the politics. We'll hit them with the picks, and we should be good to go.
No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. The system broken, the schools closed, the prisons
Around the world, Cleveland Clinic is recognized as a leader in healthcare. Our team of experts relentlessly pursues the best for our patients. From groundbreaking cancer research to state-of-the-art heart surgery, life-saving innovations happen here every day. When it's time to travel for your health, it's time to travel to Cleveland Clinic. Your destination for care, for every care in the world. To learn more, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We gonna make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen. Do it. Screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. The system broken, the school's closed.
Oh, I gotcha. On the Wednesday, November 27th edition of Talking Heads. And good stuff, Texas. Good stuff. Really, all sides of the political divide. It's all good. Even if I don't agree with you sometimes, you still got to write the opinion. Chime in, text in. We'll chop it up. It's all good. But right now, we do need to stop.
Don't take offense if I don't agree with you. If I argue against you, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not disrespecting your views, and I'm just using my right to disrespect, but I still would want you to give me your views because one day either I may convince you or you may convince me.
Making sense?
Unless you're talking Dodgers. And the Yankees are better than the Dodgers. You'll never convince him of that. Only
in 2024.
Only Jesus could convince him of that.
Not in 2024.
Not ever, I don't think. Not ever.
Okay. But I want to go back to what MJ, you made some sense. We could have been talking about some solutions.
Yeah.
Yet we're talking about the antics of a person today that took away, definitely, from what the problem is. And the problem ain't whether this one, that, or this or Lincoln Bin. The problem is we have a police officer and a defense force officer, a senior police officer,
right,
arrested for conspiracy, and it puts a black eye on the Bahamas again.
All right, Pearlie, we got an interesting final. We got an interesting final 10 today. Daniel Jones signs with the Minnesota Vikings. Not a bad move as the backup there.
That's a good move.
That's a good move because guess what? Their coach in Minnesota did a wonderful job with Sam Darnold. If he could become the Daniel Jones whisperer, he's got two good quarterbacks in Minnesota if things go south.
The thing about it is, either way, Daniel Jones can give you one, maybe two good games,
and that's all you need.
He can't carry you for a season, but if Donald is hurt, he can come and give you a game. He can finish up a game. He can play another game, and he can give you temporary help, and that's all you want.
Correct. All right, Pearlie, we got a lot of games in the NBA tonight, my brother.
Yeah, but tomorrow, now we can NFL tomorrow, but the games will be start the time the show starts. If we don't want to look at tomorrow's game.
All right, so let's do the NFL games for tomorrow early. All right, that'll be good.
Okay.
Good three because first game out the gate, the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. Chicago's lost like 3 in a row. Detroit's playing at home. I don't like them to cover the 10.5, but I like them to win.
I like them to cover the 10.5.
All right, second game, Dallas Cowboys. Well, who you liking now with MJ? You got the Bears and you got the Lions.
I'm going with the Lions. I like Jared.
Goff.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to say she liked their uniform.
That too. It's a pretty blue.
Oh, God. Second game, an even prettier blue. The Dallas Cowboys at home taking on the New York Giants.
Oh, got to be y'all, right?
Big rivalry. I think Dallas wins this one with 112 in a row against the Giants. Actually, Dallas, in their mind, thinks they have something to play for. They could love to see them get the 5th pick or better in the draft. That's not going to happen. So if you're in for a penny, in for a pound, go Cowboys. I like them to win at home on Thanksgiving.
I think the Giants have the same mindset that you have for the Cowboys, that they won't make the play. Giants have given up. The fact that they cut my boy, they've given up. So they're just building they're just seeing who got what.
They get tank quicker than us.
Yeah, so I actually like the Cowboys and the points.
And I already told you early, I like Tua in the cold. I like Miami. You all have won 3 in a row. You go for 4. I like you all to win 31-30 in the frozen tundra in Green Bay. In a tight game, Taking nothing away from a good pocket team, but I think Miami's healthy. You can run the football now. You can throw the ball. You had a Waddle sighting last week. Tua's playing good ball, and he plays well in the cold. I like the Dolphins to keep it going 31-30.
I told people that the Dolphins were building their team. People said this is a different look at offense. We're not throwing the ball deep anymore. And I said people came playing us for that. So now what we're doing is taking the slot receiver, hitting the tight end, hitting the running back out the back. And now you're going to start seeing them safeties and linebackers come a little closer to the line of scrimmage.
There you go.
Then you're going to see the sighting of Tyreek Hill. So you could see that tomorrow.
I hope to see it tomorrow because that's what I'm putting on my parlay sheet. And that's a wrap right there. Mr. Producer is giving us the high sign. We got to get to the break. For MJ, for Pearly, this your boy Naughty wrapping things up. MJ, got anything to say before you get out of here?
No, I just want everyone to have a nice Turkey Day tomorrow. It's not an official holiday here, but
enjoy
that turkey.
There you go. What about you, Pearly?
Yeah, same thing. Same. I got cousins and all that in the States. Couple listening.
Yep.
Happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. And as an honor to my father's last living sibling, we usually have a little Thanksgiving dinner. We call her and talk to her.
That's awesome.
Because we used to spend a bit of her when we were young.
Well, all I got to say is,
that's nice.
Enjoy it with your family. Sweet. I intend to enjoy it with mine. And gobbledy and wobbledy. Enjoy your day. We'll see you Friday. Pearly got you tomorrow.
Thanksgiving.
Everybody we rollin' with some light-skinned girls and some Kelly Rollins. In this white man world, we the ones chosen.
The wait is over. That safe, guaranteed investment opportunity that you've been waiting for has finally arrived. My name is Bond, the Bahamas Government Savings Bond. And as of Thursday, November the 21st, all Bahamians, for as little as $100, can begin to save for their future. The investment rates are fixed and guaranteed with terms for 1 to 6 years, so you can't lose. Mark it down. Thursday, November the 21st. Get your Bahamas Government Savings Bonds. Check out the Central Bank of the Bahamas website for more details.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
This KFC drip just won't quit. Step your flavor game up with the new KFC Saucy Nuggets. 100% real premium white meat nuggets, sauced in your choice of one of 5 KFC sauces: Korean barbecue, mango habanero, guava barbecue, stinging honey garlic, or signature barbecue. Do whatever the crunch you want with any of our new KFC Saucy Nuggets. 100% real, 100% a deal. Only available for a limited time at your favorite KFC. KFC Saucy Nuggets drip. It's finger licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Daniel Jones, the beleaguered quarterback for the New York Giants, he just signed Daniel Jones. No chaos, great offensive coach. Also, the Vikings get a very experienced, nice kid. We talked about this yesterday. I root for young people to avoid chaos. Maybe when you're older, you can handle it. So Daniel Jones, great place for him to go. Offensive coach, weapons, no pressure, understudy. Great for the Vikings. They get a big, strong kid with a lot of starts in the NFL, can run an offense and back up. He'll be the best backup, second best backup in the league. So it's all about fit. This is a great fit for the kid and the team. Couldn't be happier for him. J-Mac will have more on that coming up. I thought it was interesting. You know, when something struggles, and football's such a big business, and everybody loves the NFL. So I want to talk 49ers. So the 49ers, just got to a Super Bowl, and they've been sort of the reigning West Coast power for a long time. And they're a very popular franchise. They're a little bit like the Yankees out east. We're in the summer, everybody's wearing a Yankee hat. Out west, it's a lot of Dodgers and a lot of San Francisco 49er hats. So it's a huge brand. They fill stadiums home or away. And now I'm seeing a lot of stories now blaming the coach, Kyle Shanahan. Late game management is the reason, says an NFL executive to The Athletic. I want to discuss that for a second. And Deebo Samuel is supporting him. But it's funny about blame. For years, everybody knew he was smart. But he got called a terrible clock management coach. Oh, just the worst. And then Andy Reid got Patrick Mahomes, and that all disappeared. And Brady and Belichick, for years, the Niners were the best clock management, efficient, situational football team in the world. And then Tom Brady went to Tampa, and Belichick looked like every other coach in the league with an average quarterback. Penalties, clock management, losing games they led in the fourth quarter. Funny how that works, isn't it? So when your quarterbacks in San Francisco for Kyle Shanahan are Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, and Brock Purdy, who, by the way, may be a great fit. He's not a great quarterback. Brock Purdy doesn't erase your mistakes. Lamar Jackson does. John Elway did. Brady did. Peyton Manning did. Breeze did. Marino did. They erase mistakes. LeBron's done this. LeBron has erased a lot of bad coaching moves for a long time in the NBA. Now, that's what, the great players like a Giannis can do or a Wemby can do. Caleb Williams. Remember when he went to USC, they won 11 games. Their defense was atrocious. It was atrocious. It may have been the worst tackling defense in the country. USC won 11 games, should have won 12. But their defense gave up a late touchdown to Tulane. I mean, go look at Mike McDaniel with Tua. When Mike McDaniel has Tua, and I don't consider him a great all-time quarterback, but with Tua, you're like, man, Mike McDaniel, woo, that guy is a wizard. Without him, he looks like a bottom five coach. They can't get first downs. So here's the problem for Kyle Shanahan. Brock Purdy is smallish, hurt again. They were in the Daniel Jones sweepstakes. They wanted a veteran backup. And by the way, in his last 12 starts, I looked it up this morning, Brock Purdy, 6-6 and a 95 passer rating. That's good. It's not eraser material. It's not Mahomes changing Andy Reid's career and narrative. So you can bang on Kyle Shanahan all you want, but the reason they took such a big swing on Trey Lance is they were hoping he was an eraser. Because even if you're a great coach, Andy Reid, Belichick, Shanahan, if you have just a good quarterback and not an A-plus quarterback, this is what happens to you. He's losing a lot of games, that Kyle Shanahan. For the record, of the last 21 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, 18 Hall of Famers. Go look. You could Google it if Google was around 20 years ago. Go Google how much everybody hammered Andy Reid. Now he's considered by a long shot the best coach in the league. So yesterday, and there's a couple more to go, starting December 20th, for the first time ever in the history of college football, we'll have a 12-team playoff. So it used to be at the end, you get, when I grew up, it was AP voted for it. The media voted for the national championship game, which was hokey. And there's BCS and a college playoff. Now, for the first time ever this year, we'll have 12 teams. And so last night, 2 weeks left, they released the playoffs. Now, again, do not overreact. 2 weeks left. In my lifetime, college football's last 2 weeks, rivalry week and championship week, anything can happen. I'll give you an example. J-Mac was right yesterday. I'm going to reverse my pick. I'm taking USC plus 7.5 points to keep it close on Notre Dame. Why? Full stadium in L.A. Lincoln Riley's emptying the tank. They got nothing to lose. They feel good after beating UCLA. And Notre Dame's only faced 2 ranked teams since September. Every single USC game is close. The Coliseum, I'll be there, will be lit. They've got playmakers. Notre Dame step up in class. USC beat LSU, and they should have beaten Penn State in overtime at home. To me, it's 27-26, 28-27. Don't be shocked if Notre Dame gets bounced. How about number 2, Texas, for the first time in 13 years, going to College Station to face Texas A&M. What do you think Texas A&M would love to do? How about derail